Welcome to fuck me. Shit. Welcome back. Welcome back to Just One Beer podcast. We're your hosts Max and Vince. Welcome back to Just One Beer podcast. We're your hosts Vince and Max. First of all, I would like to thank everybody for the tremendous support that you gave us on our last episode. If you haven't catched it, it's on the link is on the bio. So for today, I would love to introduce two beautiful guests we have on today. We would like to introduce to you Kasia and Patrick right here.
Hi.
And of course our moderator, beautiful moderator here, Petra Malata.
So this episode we are going to talk about sex in general, but also specifically about sex education, our own experiences, sexual fantasies, and also a little bit about sexual liberation and the hookup culture in today's. And maybe I think it would be great if we started a little quiz game. So I have some fun facts for you, so to introduce you into the topics and to show you how much you probably don't know. So the rules are very simple. I'll give you questions, either true or false, or you'll have to pick one from the options, and then you have a few seconds to talk with your partner. So Max and Vince will be together, and Kasia and Patrick will also be together. You should also probably know that Kasia is from Poland and Patrick is from Latvia. So all very international. All right, so the first question is... approximately 50% of men refuse to have sex during their girlfriend's period. True or false? I will read it one more time. Approximately 50% of men refuse to have sex during their girlfriend's period. True or false?
Who's answering first?
It's up to you guys.
Guess first.
Guess first. It's true. Unfortunately, it's true.
What do you mean?
So it's
the
true.
only
it should be
time for a girl.
I mean, wait, it's 50%.
Yeah.
So 50% was.
But if the girl needs peaceful time,
So I guess we're going with false as well.
it doesn't have sex.
Because we could have the same answer.
But you said that it's
It's true.
They said it is true.
It's
You were
true.
saying?
But it's 50-50. Okay, sorry, true.
It is.
You're both saying it is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is in fact incorrect. It's approximately 70%.
See, it's a trick question.
Oh no!
70%!
Refuse to have sex.
Exactly,
during
that's
their-
why I was so fucking
Man, do
So-
something about it.
I was not expecting that.
Guys,
You both have
That's zero
zero
now.
points. Yeah, you have
It's
zero.
part of our body.
Isn't there like a
It's a
specific
natural thing.
sex position with our name?
I don't know if
You definitely cannot
No,
do 69.
No, remember like the pirate or what was the other
The
one?
Red
Oh,
Sea,
the blind pirate. The blind
Facts.
pirate.
You can do the blood part.
Is it like a Japanese flag if you do it on a white sheet?
Okay.
Alright.
Next question.
Alright, next question.
Next question.
According to one study, 36% of people go right to Facebook or Twitter, not to the shower after a romp in the sheets. A romp is a fun way to have sex.
Can we go first?
I can read it one more time.
Yeah.
According to one study, 36% of people go right to Facebook or Twitter, not to the shower after a romp in the sheets.
I mean, depends what time. Maybe I have to call my mom.
What?
No, but we're going with
Yeah,
false.
Yeah, I think so.
But the thing is, shower. I don't go to shower. Maybe I drink water, but I
Guys?
don't shower.
What is your answer?
It's false.
False.
False. Guys, what is your
We
answer?
go for false too.
Yeah.
It is in fact true.
For fuck's sake! Bro, this,
36%.
Well, we're doing very
well,
well.
this
I was expecting higher.
This quiz
Alright.
sucks.
Okay, guys.
We definitely don't
Is
know
the quiz?
anything.
Is it a quiz now?
Alright.
So the next one, you will. What is the word clitoris is from another like a Greek. It has a meaning, and you now should elaborate on what is it close to, and like the closer you get, we will judge it on similar to
They
that.
could start first.
So what do you think that the word clitoris arrives
I
from?
remember reading about this, but I've totally forgotten what it was about.
Isn't it like... Okay, I would go with like something towards pleasure. Cannot be like a point.
Yeah.
It's like...
I'll go for the apple of you.
I mean,
Or like,
I think that's the best guess.
Okay, so
I would go with
something
that.
around
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I will go for the apple of Eden.
Please
It's what?
elaborate.
Yes.
Please, for the people watching at home.
You know the apple that gives you god power?
Is that the apple of Eden?
Isn't that something like that?
So it's just about the apple. So
Okay, I think we are winning now.
magical.
Yeah.
There are no winners here.
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't know.
Can you formulate it in so it's not like
Give a fucking explanation.
During 250 BC.
Okay, before Christ, so it was okay.
Yeah, before Christ, so it was
It's
okay.
not a sin.
No, I don't know. I feel like it's something related to God because pleasure and stuff.
I think he was looking into my computer.
No, I wasn't.
Because the word clitoris is Greek for divine and goddess-like.
Yeah, I believe it, man. Shit.
You started-
Damn it!
I didn't
1-0.
I swear to God, I didn't read it.
You started with Apple of Eden and then you ended with God somehow?
It's kind of.
Yeah, for fashion.
You're a little sus for this, bro.
So
I didn't read it.
another
I
one
can't
is
read it.
true or false. Married people are more likely to masturbate than people living alone. So once more, married people are more likely to masturbate than people living alone. Is it true or is it false?
I think
It's a trick question again.
Really?
It's
No?
not a trick question.
I would think it's false.
I would say, yeah. Like, imagine like a
Because-
40 like bored of sex people.
Well, the thing is, I don't have too much experience or
Okay, but
like knowledge
imagine,
about
imagine, hey, imagine.
Well, in
No?
my imagination, it's
Okay, trust me.
like you will still have sex.
Trust me,
but-
it's true.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
It's false, you said.
Oh,
It's
we're
true.
saying it's true.
It's true, you said. Let's go for false.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
for
to just
false.
go
I'll
fucking
go for
fuck
false.
with it.
So it is in fact true.
Oh.
Married people.
I knew this wasn't a trick question, bro. Like
Easy.
there was too many trick questions, bro.
I definitely do not understand the married couples then.
It's fake news.
I mean,
Okay,
they're
there is a number of
divorces,
deaths that are caused per year due to your erotic asphyxiation. So basically you trying to either choke or like somehow
Masturbate while choking.
Mm.
yeah, or like
That
somehow
would
like
be-
hold your breath in. So there are actually like a lot of deaths, and I will give you 3 options. It's either less than 500 deaths, or it's B 500 to 1,000 deaths, or it is 1,000 and more. So you can choose A, which is less than 500, then B 500 to 1,000, and C 1,000 and more. So it's per year due to
Oh, per year.
autoerotic asphyxiation. Yes.
And is it in US only? Or is it
There
Worldwide.
is data about this, but I think this is worldwide.
worldwide?
Yes.
So people like to
That's
choke themselves.
Yeah, choke and have sex or masturbate while
Can't be
getting
more
choked.
Getting
I
choked.
think it could be B.
B, yeah, I would say B.
I mean,
I'll go see it.
I was a fan of Undertaker when I was a kid. I do like
What you
the,
mean?
I do like the
They're
choke
not
slam. I do like the choke slam. No, I would definitely go for between 500 to 1,000.
I'll go for C actually.
For C.
Yeah, people are fucking crazy out there, bro.
I mean, that
People
is
are
true.
choking and
That
shit,
is
like-
true.
Alright, then let's go with C.
So you go for C, 1,000 and more, and you go for B,
B,
500 to 1,000. So there are between 500 and 1,000 deaths per year due to autoerotic asphyxiation.
Nice.
I have,
Easy.
no, my point is I have really bad feeling about humanity.
We are fucked
No,
up.
I
mean,
I get what
I
you're talking
really-
If
about.
the last episode, if you didn't watch, it's in the link. You can buy.
It's okay. Women who went to college are less likely to enjoy receiving and giving oral sex.
Wait,
Women
Swiss.
who went to college are less likely to enjoy receiving and giving oral sex.
because
True or false?
they get too much or
Because they're
I was not written there. I think there's no false problem in there.
Bro, you just offended. Like,
and it's true or false.
Yes, true or false?
Most likely not to. What was
enjoy.
the hold that?
Women who went to college are less likely to enjoy receiving
Less
and giving oral sex.
So you go to college and then you don't
Get
feel
to-
like oral giving or receiving anymore.
just not that
Yeah,
day.
and there is logic behind it.
That's
apparently.
It's not my day, Roger.
Point.
I mean, there's
I don't wanna suck
there's
your cock
apparently like
today,
a
Roger.
correlation.
Why Roger? It must be like because
Roger.
they're like educated, right?
Maybe it's like
So I
time
would say it's
time spent like learning and
doing oral sex because you need to get the grades up, right?
that's not what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry, man.
Are you giving oral sex to your teacher? What the fuck?
I mean, if you want that A,
Yeah.
So I would say it's true.
Yeah, I would say it's true as well.
I would say it's true as well. I think. I mean,
At this point,
Okay, now we are just following us.
I would say it's false then.
Yeah.
don't copy my
I'll go
homework.
crazy. False.
False?
Yeah.
And you say it's true.
Yeah.
So actually, the fact is like this: women who went to college are more likely to enjoy receiving and giving girls.
Hey,
Hey,
it's sad we lost,
Damn it.
but good on educated women. Like,
Yeah.
Good for you.
Don't have
good for
them.
them.
Don't
Like,
be like
I'm happy. I'm
Don't
happy.
be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
That's true.
And the last
We won,
question.
huh?
That's true.
There's one more. Last
one.
question.
Okay.
There's a tiebreaker, no?
Yeah, I think so. Is it a try?
Yes, actually. So let's say you cannot both go for the same thing.
Okay.
So, but we start.
So I will give you a fact, and you will say less or more, and they will have to go with the other one. They will
Nice.
automatically. So a teaspoon of semen contains 30 calories. Yeah, that's it. No, there is another fact, but we'll keep that for later. A teaspoon of semen contains
How
30
many?
calories.
How much semen?
A teaspoon.
A
Teaspoon.
I haven't had any
Calories.
personally.
I was googling that one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know
Things
why.
we Google.
And I
You
think
have to
there
calculate
is-
your
I'm not
calorie
sure if
intake
it's 30. You know, that was my job on the street. Anyway. Yeah, UNICEF. Yeah,
It's if you
I
go to
think
the
it
gym
is-
and everything.
but I don't know if it's 30 though. I would say it's
A
less
teaspoon
than
isn't that much.
But how much?
How much?
Is there
co-
like, okay,
how much,
there is a cum, how much it will be a teaspoon?
Should we go try it?
Are
Like
you
if you
teaspooning?
I mean,
Like, wait, it's for science.
I think Patrick does like to spoon,
Bro.
but not that. What you're thinking.
Okay,
So he knows.
Imagine you're coming now.
Yes, it will be
How
more than a
much?
teaspoon.
More than a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Would
Okay,
be
then
more than a teaspoon.
Why would he come now?
It's less. Then it's false.
No,
That's what you're saying.
but you said you looked it up, and then what was the?
I think it was like 20-ish. Like a whole cum. It wasn't like specified how many milliliters or something.
How much time?
I would think it's less than.
Okay, guys, can you reach a decision?
Yeah,
please?
can you please?
Okay, so it's...
We're
so
not
it's,
scholars
You said
here.
30,
You say-
right?
Yes.
So we say it's false?
No, you
Do we-
say, is it less or is it more?
Oh, do we say less then?
Yes, I think we say less.
Okay.
I believe in
Yes.
our sperm.
Yeah,
I think we have more.
more.
Okay.
Easily.
Therefore, more
So,
calories
in fact,
the better.
a teaspoon of semen is 5 calories.
Yes, there we go. We figured
That's
it
right.
out.
And
So enjoy.
yes, so they have 3 points and you have 2 points, which both is pretty terrible, but sure. you
Hey.
won.
All right.
It's not even 50% of the questions.
All right. Prost to second.
Cheers, guys.
Prosia.
Prost to
Prosia
Zach.
Zach.
Prost to
Prosia
Zach.
Zach.
The losing team is enjoying half a shot.
Cheers, anyways. Cheers, guys. Mama.
Okay, so after this shot, we should probably talk and dive into sex education and how we actually learn and experience sex for the first time. So it would be very nice to like go around the table and see what were your first experiences, and if you were told with like if you talked about sex with your parents or your friends before your first time, or even in school, and if it was actually helpful, or maybe what there is that we could improve in your point of view. And it's also interesting to see, because we're from many different countries, how different people perceive it.
All
Let's start with the guess.
Yeah.
Let me just go.
All right. So I think some of my first experiences with like seeing sex was on the internet. Just seeing. I don't remember who it was who like showed me that you can find like sexually explicit material on the internet.
Who started the conversation?
That was-
Someone coming to you, porn.
Yeah, I mean.
Like bunch of 9
The thing is-
yo, man,
the
look,
thing
the
is-
steadies and shit, man.
Yeah, I think it actually went along something similar to that. But
just the titties.
and I think that was around when I was like 7 or 8 or something. So quite early, like the first images. But I don't think at that point I really realized what it was or what I was seeing. It was just like nudity. But then afterwards, during like I think it was like 5th or 6th grade, we had like sex education in school. But it was actually just our biology teacher reading us facts about like the human biology and how copulation works, more or less.
All right.
And then afterwards, I think my parents gave me like a book about like
Your parents.
Your parents gave you a book.
Yeah, about
same.
like, hey, you know.
Damn.
People do that.
The-
Why-
and there were two versions. There was like the blue book, which was like, you know, what the boy's like body or whatever, and there was like
Oh,
the
and there was a pink one.
There was a pink one. It was like the girl's body, and they bought me both,
Oh.
which I thought was
Smart
really
parents.
really good.
That's really
Yeah, because
it's
it's
pretty cool.
it's nice to understand like what you know the opposite gender is going
Yeah,
through,
exactly.
especially if it's something that you're.
And did you actually read both of them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I read them because also some of it I already knew from like the internet and stuff.
You just
But
go
I-
and flip out through
I-
pictures
yeah,
of boobies
you know,
in there.
You look at the pictures.
And you look for the titties, the boobies, and
Yeah, and you know what? That particular book had a very nice page, which was like breasts come in like many different shapes and sizes, and it was like almost a whole page of like different. But it was drawn. It was all like drawn. It was like the most different like ways you could draw like
titties.
breasts.
Yes.
Okay.
That's actually cool.
And I think it gave me a
that was
good
really,
like
that's really cool, actually.
yeah, a good start of like, well, you know, people are different, have different bodies, and kind of a basic understanding of what's going on with both men and women. So, I think it was a good job on my parents' part for.
Yeah.
If
introducing
a
me to
future
both.
parents be like Patrick's parents,
Get them two
in my,
books.
yeah, in my opinion, it was a good move. It was a good
Be
move.
cool.
get 2 books. You're not that poor.
In my particular situation, I feel like it was very like my whole experience, at least with like someone teaching me or telling me about it. It was very centered about like only the physiological, and not as much about the actual like emotional and like kind of like kind of more societal norms, which to some extent gave me a bit of like, not to say struggles, but it was something that I had to figure out on myself afterwards. So I think it might be also a good idea to also introduce not only the physiological aspect, but also
emotional
like
as well.
like the emotional
That's
of
true.
like, you know, it's okay to like someone. It's okay for someone to reject you, for example,
Yeah.
because that's a big thing. You go through a lot of rejection, and then if you're
And
not
you
introduced,
don't know what to do after that. Like
yeah, if you're not introduced to the fact that it's okay to be rejected, like, you know, there's nothing even like personal. It's just like, you know,
yeah, it just depends on
it's
the
not
person.
it's not mutual. So you know, you just carry on because there's
and that's totally okay.
a lot of fish in the sea.
Not many people do.
Yeah.
Still today, not many people get that.
Yeah, and exactly.
So
My question is, if you got the books, did your parents discuss the content of the book?
Or they
with you?
just
No,
give
yeah,
you the
yeah.
book and
They just
Yeah,
slammed it to you.
for me,
Just
yeah,
do that.
for me
Yeah.
it was like my parents giving me the book and being like, yeah, here's some stuff you need to know, and then and no, I mean they were like, if you have any questions, be sure to ask. But that's the thing, like, because of internet, I feel like I already knew a lot of the stuff before, and then you know some of the other blanks were filled in, so I didn't know. You know, it was only the unknowns left, and you don't know what to ask about the unknowns. So everything else, I felt like I had a grasp
Okay.
on.
So
but what about you, Kasia?
Yeah.
What do you?
So my experience with the book, because I got the same book, but I got the girl book.
Only the girl.
Yeah, and like exactly
that's
that's
why-
why.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where they
Yeah,
fucked
that's
up,
where
huh?
they-
Yes, and they didn't fuck it only in this case. So
So
I was
now
like
you-
bringing this book to like my dad's place, right? So I would like read that, and one day he like comes to my room and he like brings this book, like the book that I have, and he puts it on the table. And this book had like different titles on the cover page. So like I don't know, menstruation, sex, first boyfriend, first sex, etc., etc. And he would like point them and ask me like, "Did you have it? Did you have it?" And I was 12. He was more awkward than me at this point, and I was like. No, like none of them like
Tough.
was like
Alright,
toward me. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I was only 12,
Uh-huh.
so that's what like I asked you because he was so awkward. Like none of my like either my mom, either my dad talked about it. So it would like they would give me the book,
Yeah.
and I said like figure out on your own. I remember also like when I was I think like 7 or 8, I was with doing grocery shopping, and you know like condoms are always like on the
Yeah.
next to gums, like chewing gums, at
Yeah.
least in
Yeah.
Poland.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
That's creepy.
Right?
No, they-
So, like, I would be
that's
like a-
nearly
I
there.
just never see
Yeah,
condoms
but I
in
mean,
the
like,
film.
it's like a first thing you would, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, grab
Yeah,
next
I
to
mean,
your
in-
chewing
in
gum, like in the
Latvia,
chewing
it's-
gum
it's
and the
serious.
condoms,
Yeah.
just in case.
You
I don't
never
know.
know.
But yeah, like, I asked my aunt, like, oh, what is this chewing gum? And she was like, one day you will find out. And I was like, okay, like, that's chewing gum. Yep, so
Oh god.
there was no, like...
What an innocent
yeah.
soul you were back
Hey,
then.
hey, I did Okay.
I mean, everyone at 7 is in pretty innocent
Yeah,
soul.
I hope so. I mean, but we'll get to you. Like, we'll get to you.
Yeah.
But also, like, sex education, like, at school, like, there was no sex education. It was like a family education that you need to marry someone, etc., etc., right? And like,
Shit.
actually, like, what happens with two people in the bedroom, right? So yeah, I think
They
it's very
don't like
fact.
they don't
Like,
graphically explain
No,
it, right?
no,
Exactly,
no.
that's the
Like,
thing.
there is no like talking about condoms, no
I mean,
about like
imagine
protection,
7-year-old
nothing.
you thinking like there's just a naked guy in the room,
Yeah.
and then I mean you don't know what's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
for me, it's like there was no sexual education at all. There was no point in my life where I was taught what to do in the bedroom. Obviously, I come from the Philippines, and even like if you can see the population now, it's probably 100 million at this point, because nobody uses that shit. I mean, like like
Contraception, you mean?
like
Or
contraception, protection,
Yeah, yeah.
all these things, and like you can see that like with the age and stuff as well. Like people tend to have babies and everything, to get children at very very young age. I know people that like maybe are the same age as me now that have like 2 to 3 kids, and that's, for me, it's been crazy. And the
It
thing
is
is,
kind of crazy.
that's the thing that stopped me from actually kind of like, that's the thing that scared me mostly. Like when I grew up, I was like, I don't want to have kids at that age yet. I don't know what the fuck to do with those little kids running around. So I was just like, I'll be more protected. So I went and researched and shit about everything. Because my
On the
parents,
internet? Or?
yeah, on the internet.
yeah.
Because my parents wouldn't tell me either. Like we come from a very conservative Christian country, so porn was seen as a shame. Like for you to watch that, it means you're a fucking disgusting person. And that's one of the things that they need to introduce into the Philippine educational system, that they need to teach some things about sex. Because
you
yes,
don't have the sex education at
no,
all.
I mean maybe because I left quite early. Maybe I was
Yeah.
10 years old. Maybe now it's a little bit different. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure. Like a lot of conservative Asian countries don't teach sexual education,
Damn.
and the fact that we didn't now causes us our fucking.
Okay, one question for you. What do you do after having sex? What do you do with the condom? After you put it out, do you
I
blow
put it
in
into
it?
my forehead and say,
Blow in
You
it?
blow.
No,
Hey!
you tie it off and then you...
Yeah,
"You blow it." Exactly. No, you blow it.
See, that's what I
No,
wanted.
you
Yeah,
tie it
that's
off.
what I
Yeah.
wanted.
blowing.
Okay, I know it's quite disgusting, but the
Oh,
thing is
because you want
to
to
be
see-
more
Yeah,
safe, right?
yeah,
So I
yeah,
blow
yeah,
it,
that's
and
what I
then I make a
remember,
knot,
yeah,
and then I
that's what-
squeeze it to see if there's air
Yeah.
coming
Okay,
out.
no,
Okay.
I do that.
You know what
I
I
do
mean?
that.
I don't do that.
I know.
I just
Really?
tie it off.
Yeah,
and then
But
I
like,
just-
listen, I don't put the condom in my mouth. I'm just more like just giving it a soft blow, and then boom, I tie it real fast, and then squeeze it a little bit. If there's
Okay,
if
but
there's
you're
nothing,
the,
then
the
I'll
first
do it.
person
Like
I've
I tie
seen
it,
that, but it
and
makes
then-
sense. Like,
I know
like-
because I'm
but then it's
freaking
still,
scared,
but it's
man.
still too
Yeah,
late,
I mean-
isn't it? Like you should blow it before using
No, but
it.
you know to take the...
Because the thing is, like for example, I'm getting.
No, because when you're putting the condom, if there is a hole, it's gonna just go down. But if there is no hole, there is a little space of air, so you can see it.
That's
Before
actually-
putting it on.
No, when you put it in.
Yeah, when you put it on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so you don't need to.
Okay,
Also,
so
I'm
you
pretty
check
sure
if
the
it
way it
broke
breaks,
after, like
it-
doing
Yes,
like
probably-
I mean,
it just
I know,
like,
I know it's too
comes
late,
Unless someone
but
is
like
a psychopath.
at least we know it,
At least
and
we
I
know
know,
it.
I know when to be scared. I know, like,
we
oh
put
shit,
the-
so how much is like, I don't know, one in a pill or some shit like that.
Yeah,
But
okay.
what about you? What did
I have,
your
I have
experience
a
about?
couple of. I had a roller coaster for sex education. Like, I started around like I don't know 6-7 years old when I asked my mother how people makes baby, and my mother went for this story about the bees bringing the pollen in the flower.
That's a good one.
You
Actually.
take
That's
the
a pretty
pollen
one.
from something, then you bring it, and then the flower comes out. Then I think after around 10 years old, my mother went fully and like, okay, you have to have sex, penis in the vagina, and all that shit. Like,
But it's nice that your parents told. Like,
But
your
you didn't
mom,
discuss.
yeah, no,
your
but
mom
that,
said that.
no, but that's the problem because it was my mother anyway doing all this shit. So I was like, okay, but what about the penis? And my mother was like, yeah, well, that's I don't know.
Okay, so you were good with girls,
Yeah.
were you?
Yeah.
I
Also
mean,
because
yeah.
the thing that actually fucked up my entire sex part, it was that my mother told me that to have a baby, the other partner has to have an orgasm. like 100%.
That's a
need
good
more
one.
of that.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
Why would she say something like that?
I don't know.
So that to make
So
sure
I
the
was
other
like, oh
partner-
shit, so all the girls, they have to have an orgasm all the time. So I was putting so much pressure every time having sex, like, they have to.
I love your mom though.
Yeah. My mother
That's a good way to
good
like
mom.
embed into a child's
Yes.
mind.
Exactly.
You need to make someone come before you,
Yeah.
as a man.
Yeah, exactly. She was,
But that's interesting because I feel like the experience that we share is that our parents were pretty awkward about it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even more awkward than I felt like and you felt like as well.
Yeah, no. My
But
mother
then
went
your
through
mom
it
was
10 years
pretty
ago.
pretty head on.
I never talked about it with my parents.
Never.
Still,
No,
We still
I
get
no,
coffee.
I have never ever in my life asked until that one moment where my dad was searching he was using my laptop.
She pressed P.
No, and the thing is, he will open Windows.
yeah, exactly. Autocomplete.
Yeah, I mean, he opened Windows Media Player, and there was porn.
Hey,
It was
right?
it was Japanese lesbian porn.
Japanese,
Japanese
lesbian
lesbian.
porn.
I
That's
mean,
very
I was-
specific. Yeah.
Are you
I
a
mean,
connoisseur of porn?
I
or,
need to I need to establish my culture. More.
Okay, so what about porn then?
But,
Is Japanese your culture?
no,
That's a good
Asians
I
though.
mean, that's
I mean, if you look for Filipino porn, it's a little bit weird. It's always homemade.
Consensual or not consensual?
Hopefully
Filipino.
consensual.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully consensual.
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I don't comment.
So actually, more people
Okay.
visit porn sites each month than Netflix, Amazon, and Twitter combined
Really?
each month. Yes.
It's not hard to believe.
Well, yeah.
And for example, the most searched terms in 2018 were lesbian, hentai, MILF, stepmom,
Hentai.
Japanese, and mom again.
Japanese is still
Mom.
at it, bro. It's hard.
Moms.
What are you doing here?
The number one search category is actually teen.
Teen.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Pretty.
Latina
Yeah,
or
I
teen?
mean-
Teen.
Like teen.
Teen,
Like
teen.
a teenager. Yeah.
But I mean, teenager is also 18 is a teenager, so.
No, I mean, hey, I think it's implied that if it's a
Yeah,
porn,
exactly.
it's of someone
No,
who
but
is
he went for
18
that
and
face
up.
like, oh, so teen. Like,
But yeah, but there
18,
is actually
no?
very little regulation, and the one that being like 18 plus is like one of the only ones that.
yeah, wasn't like Pornhub they delete like
Almost
Yeah,
half
they
of
did.
it,
They,
yeah,
they
yeah,
did
yeah.
a lot of their content
Yeah,
just
yes, it
because of
was
they
like-
couldn't verify.
It's a issue. They
yeah.
millions of videos.
But, I mean,
Good.
But they kept the verified channels. Wasn't that
yeah,
the
yeah,
idea?
verified. Yeah.
but that's the thing. I mostly watched lesbian porn when I was a kid. I don't know why.
But I watch it too.
It's just that,
like,
like,
it's the best.
I was
kind
like,
of-
I was
It's
always.
actually
You
the
are
best
you are
part.
part of the statistic.
Yeah.
Also
But
Japanese.
which
But the
we
thing
saw-
is, it
which
was
we
so
saw.
weird
Yeah.
for me to see a man's cock and just like going at it. But I would love to see the gender that I mostly adore.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I went for it most of the time, and it was also really like kind of innocent.
And
And
I-
as a
and-
kid, like you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
But I think it's
Like there was never. If you search hardcore lesbian porn, it's not really hardcore.
Wait,
No, because
it's
they're.
more-
But
now
it's the
I
thing.
have a question. Like, does your taste on porn changed since
Yes.
you started watching?
I have
porn?
developed new like
Yeah,
kinks.
right. Yeah.
Mostly midget porn.
But also like
Are you?
midget porn.
Please, this goes in record.
I
Midget
So you little midget.
I mean,
There's
I,
no
mean, I do get the motivation
This
from
is
my
going
girlfriend.
on like
My girlfriend is 5'1", 5'2".
Okay.
so that.
So it does
5'2".
it does kind of have a resemblance to it, but it's
To a
still
midget.
still a little
But
bit
it-
exotic.
I just want to make it clear. Have you actually watched midget porn? Do
I mean,
you
I
actually dig it?
no, I don't masturbate to it. I like to just watch it.
Wait.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like
like
put it on in the
bachelor
background.
Party.
I mean, like yeah, exactly.
That's it. Like
I actually
that's
never
bachelor
watched
party for him.
midget porn. What happens there? Like
That's the
there is
thing.
midget.
But
Yeah,
most
it's just a
of,
midget,
sometimes
that's right.
there is
Just
no. See, you guys
Yeah.
clearly never search about it.
That is
Midget
fair. I have
porn.
not.
Midget porn is mostly about a dude and a midget woman. Mostly.
Ah, so
It
only
cannot be.
women.
It cannot be another way. Okay, I found some, but I never really wanted to
Oh,
watch it.
that's interesting.
But like,
actually.
it's a lot of men have
Isn't
kinks
it you're
over
just
it.
like power dynamic for yours? Like that you want to feel that you're like
That I'm
taller.
big.
What about
Yeah.
what
Isn't
about
it?
lesbian?
Maybe,
I think so.
subconsciously, maybe.
Lesbian Japanese midget.
Oh, then that would be a shit show from my room. There was just
So
just be
many
shit
calories.
dripping off the fucking thing. Like, it's like Raining Man, but like,
Okay.
yeah.
I
I'm trying very hard not to picture this.
Alright.
How did you learn about kinks then? Like, did you learn it from porn? You said like you developed different kinks. Like
yeah,
when
yeah.
you were getting older.
I think it wasn't like I learned what the definition of kink is and then I understand the concept. It was more like going into a porn site and then seeing that there are a lot of, different videos with lots of different content. And then realizing that, hey, this one does arouse me, and then this other one actually does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
then
you
it's a very like pragmatic way of being like,
All right.
oh, I don't know what a kink is, but I know that there are certain things
What
that
the-
do arouse me, and that
Exactly.
there's certain that doesn't.
So you
Yeah.
mostly found your kinks not through like sexual intimate.
well, because
intimation,
because
but
I
mostly
started
through
watching
porn,
porn,
right?
when I was
Yeah, I mean, but you said
Quite
it's still
young.
developing, right? So
Yeah.
are you mostly finding it in porn rather than in like personal experience, or
the kinks.
Yeah.
I think the time when I found most of my kinks happened when I didn't have like a girlfriend or wasn't having sex.
all right?
Okay.
So
So through
pretty-
exploring.
So through exploring videos,
So then
because that's
you-
the only thing I.
so
the
then you
only
watch porn
exposure.
and then you apply it through, or like you have to make sure that she's also on it. Like what do you
So-
feel most of the time though?
I think for some, I don't really know why, but I feel like I always kind of remember to myself that porn is not the same as sex. I think it's actually someone like talked about
But
it.
that's a
Yeah,
good one.
that's-
That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of men and women think like it's the same.
Because
as porn.
because that's like
It's
that's the
what,
content you see and that's like what you're exposed to. So you think that that's that's what
That's
making
what
love
happens.
is about.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think I heard it in like a conversation with someone or maybe my older like cousin or something was talking about something, and then that's when I think I heard like the kind of idea that porn is not the same as sex. So I was very I made sure that I kept that in mind during my first experiences.
But also
I think
when
it's
To
it-
just kind of keep an open mind with your
when
understanding.
it comes to kinks, actually, like in sexual fantasies, only when people like get asked about their sexual fantasies, and they ask if they want to act them out, 80% say like yes. They like 79 to be specific would say like yes, they want to act them out.
Okay.
But actually, when they ask them like did you try to act them out, only 23% did.
Oh.
And so there's like I think a much difference between like
But
what we would.
Isn't it like
23%
a-
tried to act out.
Yes, so they actually
Want to
did act out their sexual fantasies.
Is it about like us, like we all have like a sexual fantasy which we'll never act on, like for example with a person or like with some like surrounding
Because it
that
comes
we'll
it
never
comes a
Really?
lot
Yeah.
it comes a lot with the mindset, right? Like
Yeah.
if you like for example like if you have a sexual fantasy, like you really want to make sure that the other
Well,
like your
yeah,
other
yeah,
partner
yeah,
would be
yeah.
into it as well.
I mean,
That's
that's
the thing.
for I think that's us speaking who are kind of more into like more consensual stuff.
More into
Exactly.
Like I love it's like I'm more into consensual. Like,
No,
no, that's good. But no, that's good. It's good.
You know?
Who is not into consensual stuff?
Rape is boy.
Are you into that?
That's why they have another name. Like
Fuck
But
you.
there actually a lot of people.
No, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure, it makes sense, but it was just.
But even like a lot of people have like forced sex fantasies. Like about 54% of men
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like about 61% of women and 68% of non-binary people. But it exactly doesn't mean that you want to get raped, of course.
No,
No,
that's
that's
not
not
right.
no, obviously
Exactly.
not.
It's like BDSM.
No, but that just proves the
Shit.
point that what you like
A part of
desire
it,
like
a part of it.
and watch is very different from what you
Okay.
actually do.
Then I have a story for that, basically.
Go ahead.
Tinder, right? Like Tinder dating. And I met
What's
this guy.
Tinder?
So let's call him
Tinder?
Mr. Lawyer. So he was a lawyer here in Denmark. And we went for 2 dates, and then after the third date was at my place, right? So we had like sex.
Ooh. Sexy.
And he was like a pretty like BDSM, like light things. And then we were like hanging out and we were watching Netflix, right? And he was like coughing, so I was like being a very good Polish host. I asked him like, do you want some coffee?
What is a Polish host?
A good host,
Let
you
him
know,
finish
like,
his story.
you know, it's like a, do you want tea? Do you want coffee? Like that kind of thing. So anyway, so I asked him, this Mr. Lawyer guy, do you want tea? And he's like, yes, of course. And then I'm trying to be like joking, and I'm like, wanna be joking, so I'm like, oh, ask me kindly. And then he slaps my face, like,
What the
you
fuck?
know?
Oh,
Yes.
that escalated.
Yes.
Oh shit.
And I was like, yeah, like you are leaving. And he was like, yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah. And that's it. Like we never like talked about
why
it.
did he
Yeah.
slap you?
because that was the thing. Like
Yeah,
there was the sex
I mean,
part,
it's a
right?
power
And it's
Ask me
dynamic.
nicely, kind. All right.
Yeah,
So like,
you know,
so he was like, full
he's
of
the
sex.
one.
sick.
Yeah.
Then
All right,
is
if
it
you're
safe
out
to
there-
assume that he was the
Yeah.
dominant?
Yeah, but
during
like I
sex?
get it, like doing sex, but then he's like,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the thing, like that's what like the consensual thing, right?
I think that's what you call like a fake dom or something, is who doesn't like respect the
Distinguish,
boundaries
yeah,
of
distinguish
the,
between
That's
well,
the most
scene.
important part of
and
about BDSM is
advocacy.
just respecting the
Yeah, it's
boundaries.
communication
when does it
actually.
end?
It's built
Yeah.
primarily
Exactly, and trust.
But you all had a BDSM experience before. I never had one.
What?
on not like a true BDSM. Okay,
What
actually,
is not a
I
true?
was
So you're
50-50.
50-50.
I was a part of a BDSM.
So
or I went to a
you-
BDSM club.
All right. So he's
Here
slapping
in-
your butt
really?
cheeks, but then
Yeah,
like,
right.
no,
So, no,
I'm sorry.
Okay, what was
You slap
what
in
was
the
the
butt
experience?
Yeah, what was the experience like of the
Um,
50-50 BDSM?
No. I went to a BDSM club.
So that
I was a part of a
This
BDSM
is
club for a while. And well, the concept there is it's more of like just a place where you can hang out with like-minded people.
Of course.
Well,
exclusive?
no, you actually do socialize there. It's not like you go there to have a guaranteed experience. You go there to meet people with whom, if you click, if you match, if you have similar
Then
interests,
you would.
then you actually also have space there to like realize those experiences.
But does it mean that you
Okay.
consensually agree to BDSM if you meet someone that you click with, right? In a big BDSM club, you go home together. Does it automatically like in your mind, both of your mind,
That's
without
interesting,
you
yeah.
saying to each other that like
No, the
We're
point.
gonna have-
We gotta go like
Oh no,
point
but I
is
mean
like-
the
because like what if you meet someone that like were you a big fan of BDSM before you went to this club?
No, it's still an exploration for me.
Still
personally.
exploration,
Yeah.
right? But what if you met someone the same way as you were, and then you both really do click and you really want to go home together? Does it like mentally click without you saying to each other that you would
but,
like to
okay,
do those things?
I think that's.
that's what I was
think
going
that's. Well, that's not the kind of way you
Yeah.
kind of go about the BDSM stuff.
But obviously,
Mainly because
Mhm.
there are so many different things that you can be into, and it's not even like so many different things. It's like every single person is like a unique individual, and especially when it comes to something so intimate as BDSM, which is among the most intimate like moments for a person.
of course, yeah.
It's only through communication and like kind of a negotiation and kind of like well, this is what I'm into, and then I've gotten to know you enough to where I trust you, and it is me who gives you like the kind of right to have the power dynamic over me.
Can I ask something?
Right, I see.
Of course.
Do you have a safe word?
And that's the thing. I didn't get to that.
Oh,
Okay.
Do you have a safe word?
Never had one.
But safe word to who? To
Do
like
you have a
someone
safe
else?
word?
Yes, I
I mean,
What is your safe
it's
word?
broccoli.
oh, nice.
Damn it, people.
Okay, you're talking about the safe word. Have you heard of the traffic light system? Where during a scene, which is kind of the BDSM kind
Yeah.
of experience, instead of having a safe word, which is kind of a very rough cut,
Yeah.
people have
You probably need
invented
a fucking cut.
people have invented or come up with a traffic light system where it's like green, which is go on,
Yeah.
yellow, which is like
Go slow, or
like slow down, or
Yeah.
like maybe not this or
Red.
something like that, and then red is like
Full
rough
on
cut.
stuff,
Yeah.
Also, you just say green, yellow, red.
Well, I guess you can also substitute them with
Yeah.
like other
Broccoli,
words. Yeah.
as green.
But I wouldn't go too weird, like broccoli is the red, and then you go like fucking.
Confused,
iceberg
yeah,
salad.
I would it's very
Yeah,
emotion-oriented.
carrot. Oh fuck, what was carrot?
Yeah.
I
But
also-
Patrick, how did it click to you that you wanted to explore BDSM? Because I mean,
Again-
I'm, for example, like for me, like I never really had these weird kinks. I'm mostly vanilla.
Hey,
Midgets.
I feel like vanilla
there's-
sex gets way too much like people are shitting on vanilla sex, but there's nothing wrong with vanilla sex. Like,
But there is
Fine.
obviously, but like
It's fine.
for someone like me, who's like who's vanilla, like, and for someone like you, who's like exploring these things.
yeah,
what in your mind clicked that you wanted to go and experience these things? Because maybe I haven't experienced it.
Yeah,
myself.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So for me, it was, I think, more trying out in a very kind of softer, not a very like, oh, we're doing BDSM now, but it was more like my girlfriend at the time. She was like, hey, like, you know, actually no, I think it was me who asked her if she wants to be choked, for example, and then she was like, yeah, I'm into that, and then you know. Then I choked her, and I could see her enjoying it. Which
That's
also,
why she's ex.
and then I could see her enjoying it, and then I also felt that
the same way, like
me having that like power and having that like control over her, and then being able to kind of make her feel so good. Made me feel good as well.
Okay.
So it's like I got pleasure from giving her pleasure.
This is such
Okay, I have a question about that.
very, very good
Like,
mindset.
And that was sorry, I'm just gonna finish on. So that was some of my first experience with like BDSM stuff. Was like choking her and then her asking me to like spank her and then asking me to spank her harder and stuff like that, and then I slowly noticed, and at the time I didn't really know about BDSM. Like I knew that, you know, choking is kind of a part of it, but it was a very unexplored territory for me at all. So then through that later on I realized that, hey, like all of this stuff that I really enjoyed is kind of pointing me in a certain direction there.
To BDSM itself.
So I decided to explore it more.
Alright. Okay.
I don't think it's like, I think with any kink, it's not like you have to think about it hard, like, oh, do I like it? And they're like, you instantly know, you enjoyed this.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I think that's.
but I think like for me at least, like I don't know, like what's your experience? That I think it's interesting. Like at least for me, like it's much easier for me to explore something with a hookup, like someone like not meaningless, but like in a way like there is no like, you know, like love involved and everything. Like it's much easier for me to try different things than with an actual loved one that it's like a stable relationship.
If you fucked up completely, you're never gonna see him again.
Yeah, so. but it's not like that I will fuck up or like he will fuck up. You know, like that I'm not gonna hurt him or he's gonna hurt me, because I hope it's consensual if it's a preference. But you know what I mean? Like I don't know why.
It should always be consensual, kids. It should always be consensual.
Listener, viewers, it should always be.
But
No. It shouldn't. It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be.
It has
Always.
to be. It has to
True.
be.
So true.
But yeah, like what's your point of view? Of
No,
like,
but for
you
me
know what I
it's
mean?
the complete opposite actually.
Really?
Like when I'm having a hookup, basically you have one point. At the end of the day, there has to just conclude at the point where we're just gonna have sex. We're gonna go home together, we're gonna have sex. And the thing is, I would do the best that I could in all my ability in order to just pleasure the girl. But I'm not gonna try anything new because I don't know her. Maybe
That's
maybe
the
she's
only
not.
moment when you
Yeah,
can do it
but-
without.
Yeah, but for
But
example,
that's
but for example, if you are with someone, like for example, I'm with my girlfriend, and let's say I want to try something new. It's easier to talk about it with your partner rather than it is to a stranger. You know what I mean? Because maybe I could talk about it to my girlfriend and say, "Oh yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that." But maybe she doesn't want to do that. Then I would know never to make sure that I wouldn't do it because she doesn't want to do that. But if we do agree on both things, that would pleasurize me even more than just trying it with someone who might not want it. Because I do when I have sex, I do like to have my intimate partner to enjoy it as well as I do.
Yeah.
And
But then
going through the back door and shit without knocking, that's a little bit.
Yeah, that's like, but yeah. But like my question is like, is it easier for you to ask a hookup person or is it easier for you to ask a girlfriend person?
I mean,
Or is it the same level?
I mean, in my relationship, with my girlfriend, we like to talk a lot about things, and we want to have a good mindset about it. We do want
So
to
you
both
would, like,
agree
settle.
to it.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to talk about it in a way that both of us would reach like a level that we would both want to do it, right?
Gotcha.
Not just with sex, but with everything. But with a stranger, I feel that like it's a little bit tough for me because I personally don't know her. That's why I don't do a lot of hookups because I really am into something like I'm a more emotional person when it comes to sexual desire, sexual fantasies, and everything like that. So, exactly. But
So you, Max,
yeah,
a non-emotional person
What?
with a lot of hookups in his
I
life.
am
He's
such
also
an
older,
emotional-
very much older. Yes,
Well,
tell
how
us.
much? What
Is
you
it easier to do a hookup or a girlfriend to explore different things?
I don't think it's either. We cannot do this difference between hookups and relationship because if you want to do something BDSM or whatever kink you have, you can just communicate it. On a hookup, I don't think there is any moment during the night that you're like, okay, should I choke you? Like, you're probably drunk as shit, so you choke.
But what if you're not drunk? What if you're not intoxicated? Then what? Like, and then you
Like
just,
during sex,
you
like
both
just
just
a
really-
quick
you
question
both
of
just
like,
really
are you
click.
into choking?
Yeah, then you do everything slower anyway because you don't know her. So if you want to choke her, you choke her, but not like going fucking crazy, like fucking that she starts being blood and the eyes. You go, yeah,
Fist of Heavens.
Yeah,
by
you know.
the way. The
You know
Apple
the
fans
way.
out there.
If you choke too much, the face goes red and shit. But
That's,
like,
yeah,
you know, yeah.
But obviously, yeah.
But that's
like,
the point. Like with a hookup, you just go slower. So you want because you still want to do all the stuff, but you don't go as crazy as with your girlfriend because you know that your girlfriend is gonna stop you. But she will stop you, but then it's gonna be awkward.
But that's exactly.
Really?
But that's
That's
exactly what I'm
such a
saying.
different
That
point
like
from
the
me.
fact that you have to both be in the same mindset just
Exactly.
makes it much more of a better experience.
Yeah.
That's why a hookup is always a
Because there
50-50
is trust.
when it comes to like sexual kinks and sexual
Yeah, yeah,
desires.
yeah,
In a relationship, there is trust, while in a hookup, in that
Yeah,
back
you're
of
like-
your mind,
yeah.
there is still, oh, maybe it's a psycho. So when
Exactly.
he's choking you, you're like, okay, is he gonna stop at some point?
Yeah, please
You
stop.
know?
Please stop.
Yeah, if
Please
it
don't
doesn't
slap
stop,
me.
you're
But
like,
I mean, but
shit.
imagine, right? You get a hook, you hook up with somebody, and everything just clicks.
But I
And
feel like
usually
that's
that leads to like
Yeah,
a
but that's something-
relationship.
that's
Like, you know
not
what I
something
mean?
about
So
violence.
like,
That is like
it's
on
just
a
good to explore that
friends
way.
with
Like
benefits.
for example, like it's really good to explore that way either. Like if you don't know the person, you haven't you lost contact with people in high school, like how me and my girlfriend met, then exploring like that is the way. So I
But-
don't necessarily have
but
to stick with
still,
my mindset.
just to let you know, in like the kind of BDSM community, there is a thing about like the surprise choke, which is like
The choke slam.
it's like, you're having sex, and then without kind of asking the other person, said person just chokes that person. And there's a thing about it where it's like, yeah, you want to explore, but still it should be through like
should just
communication.
go, like,
No, but
yeah.
still it should be through communication. Like, hey, I'm into this stuff. Like maybe you are as well. Like, or would you like to try it or something?
Yeah, but without talking, you kind of have to figure it out mentally, right?
But that's the thing. I think
you
it's
shouldn't
it's
really
it's
like,
the thing.
No,
It's
I
not
mean,
a good
but no.
concept, or it's not a good like.
Imagine the sex is that good that you don't have to talk and you
Yeah,
just
so
click
like
mentally.
you
know?
feel that you want to.
I know it's hard.
Like,
I mean,
fine,
but the
like,
thing is-
there could be.
But the
midget
thing
porn,
is,
for example.
I think it might be like a bad kind of image of sex that has been created, where that special person is gonna just like click, or you're gonna find a person where it just like clicks without communicating.
Mhm.
I feel like it's a very bad expectation to actually put out there at all, because but what about we just don't be awkward and communicate and not make the sex worse because of it?
Yeah.
Alright guys, we had a really good conversation about BDSM and all the sex and kinky stuff,
Patrick,
and remember
Patrick.
that Vince likes midget porn. Anyway, we are gonna probably continue this episode because it's really interesting and a lot of funny jokes, and yeah.
So if you're watching this from home, stay there. This coronavirus and everything, but use protection. Make sure it's consensual. Make sure they agree on it.
there is no slap.
If you are into BDSM,
Go
Patrick
slow
right
first.
here.
Go slow.
Go slow. Maybe join a BDSM club. If you like vanilla sex,
Ask a Patrick.
text me. I am a text just one beer group. Say it's for Vince, and I'll talk about it. But make sure you like and subscribe. If you haven't watched our last episode, which was the pilot, it's in the link. The link is in the description. But see you guys later.